English translation, 27th contact. Wednesday, 25th June, 1975, 14:37 Chars.
You are not in a hurry today. I had to call you several times.
Unfortunately, I could not just leave because my wife was not at home. So I had to take care of the children.
That is why I had to call you for more than an hour. Because I have a surprise for you today.
I am glad, but what do you have in stock? By the way, the last time you told me it would be a long time before we could get together again.
I can answer your second question by saying that our intensive task will not begin for a few days, which is why time is not yet pressing for me. As to your first question, I have to say that you can fly with us if you like, because we are now ready to do so.
Fantastic, anytime. When do you want to start?
You are not surprised?
Why should I?
You keep puzzling me again and again with your astonishing emotions. But if it is all right with you, we can start right away.
Then come on, girl. Where then shall the journey go?
You once again give me a riddle, for I am not able to detect the slightest emotion in you, neither joy nor fear.
I am too much of a realist, Simya-se.
That must be the reason, but you are also an Aquarius who is able to control his emotions very precisely. We were thinking of taking you on a flight to Saturn. For this, we need a time of about 212 hours if you have so much time available.
Is that a question?
Of course not.
Good. How about taking some photos? Can I take some pictures?
We have made a positive decision in this respect.
You are always talking about we.
We are here with 3 beam ships and we will be flying in 3s. You will see the other 2 as soon as we are off. They are currently only a few meters above us and have shielded themselves.
Okay, then what are we waiting for?
You are in a hurry, but there is a lot I need to explain. You may take some photos of my ship, and some pictures are also granted to you by the other 2 beam ships during takeoff and landing. You may also take 1 or 2 pictures with our visual inspection device. You may also capture the planet Earth on film as well as Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Some pictures we will allow you also of the Moon. But you have to stick to it with certainty and not take any other pictures than I allow you to.
Clear.
Good. Then we can go. Did you hide your vehicle well?
As usual.
Then come, and do not worry about your camera because the damaging factors are switched off.
We go together to the beam ship, where we are simply lifted into the ship by an elevator-like invisible powers and immediately stand in the cockpit, while behind us the hatch closes automatically and completely silently. In the cockpit, there is a green-yellow light, which is obviously produced by the onboard windows, which are orange on the outside, but green-yellow on the inside. This observation also leads me to the first question.
How come, Simya-se? The ship's windows are orange on the outside and yellow-green in here.
The outside is specially coated and changes color depending on the atmosphere. In an atmosphere that is beneficial to us, the material turns orange and throws this yellow-green light inwards. If the outside is colored differently, for example green, yellow, red, or blue, etc., the inside light changes immediately. Without special analyses, we are thus informed as to whether or not we need a protective suit in the atmosphere in question. A failure of this type of atmosphere determination is completely impossible, and furthermore, the automatic system only opens the airlock and the exit shaft when the occupants are wearing the relevant protective suits. This is made possible by the use of sensing eyes or sensors, which find the appropriate contacts at certain points on the suits. If one wants to leave the ship in an atmosphere that is unhealthy to us, then this is only possible with the protective suit, otherwise the automatic safety mechanism is activated and all exits are locked. When we step out of those layers of a world where the atmosphere is lifted, the outside of the windows becomes transparent and clear and hardly differs from your clear glass. The windows also prevent the penetration of any radiation through the special coating, so there is no danger. They only let through neutralized light. For observation, we have our control devices, which enable us to look much more closely than looking out through the windows, which should not be very suitable for taking pictures, because the pictures probably become unclear, at least as long as the outside is colored. In higher layers, however, this should resolve itself, so you can take clear pictures. However, I cannot determine how far you will succeed with them because we have never tried to use photo apparatuses of your kind and therefore do not know their possibilities.
That is what we are going to find out.
Sure, but now I have to ask you not to ask any more questions that would be recorded in the report, because all the events, etc. of this flight you may only name when I give you permission to do so. This also applies to the appearance and furnishings of the beam ship.
Whatever you say.
It has to be, unfortunately, for very specific reasons.
All right, Simyase, I will shut up.
The flight lasted 2 hours and 34 minutes, past the planets Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn at a considerable distance, circumnavigated the latter, and then we went back to the Earth, also crossing the debris, or part of the asteroid belt.
After the landing, the following conversation took place.
How do you feel now?
Fantastic. The impression was enormous.
That is all you have to say?
Should I? First, I have to work through all the fantastic impressions. What interests me, though, is the distance covered. How many kilometers did we travel?
According to your calculations, it was about 3,000 million kilometers.
Man, oh man, and that in just 2 hours. When I consider that I have traveled for 12 years on the dear Mother Earth, covering 2.7 million kilometers, I could be jealous of you. Today's space journey is more than 1,100 times bigger than my crawling around on the Earth. Man, oh man, that's one thing when I think of that distance.
Sure, from this point of view, this number is very large, but you will get used to it, because we have decided to take you in some time to an even bigger trip, to the Pleiades, etc.
You mean your Pleiades? That is almost 500 light years.
Certainly. But now, unfortunately, I must go, for my duties call me.